clapping sound levels from the cheers and clapping from the audience. Hopefully you will all turn up. So that's all from me. Have a super week. We've lots to do this week, lots of fun to have, and we'll keep you up to date every day on TVE. So now we're obviously going to go on to a clip, though no one really knows what's going on because we're a little bit understaffed. As you know, most television companies cut back on their budgets in these poor times. We've got no adverts this year, unfortunately, because we can't sell any. So that's really it. Anyway, have a good week once again, and over to the King.
We've actually put pictures of the crew, thus, we hope, enabling you to recognise the crew. Write in, giving us your suggestions for names for the crew to go with these photographs. I will go through them one by one in a moment, or any suggestions you've got as to a caption that might go with the photograph. So let's start off, for instance, we'll start off there with, there's Jensen Bloomer, who we think looks like a sort of a young Johnny Rotten. If you hide the bottom half of Jensen's face, something like that, doesn't he look like Johnny Rotten about the eyes and the nose? Right, carry on, up we go, Andy. There's Andrew Davey, our master of ceremonies, who looks like Joe, definitely looks like Joe Longthorne, spitting image there. Right, let's go down again, let's see who we've got. There's good old Gary Baines, who's doing the lunchtime discos, and that blurred, faded photograph, he looks very, very much like Ronnie on the Run Biggs. So if you spot anybody who looks like Ronnie Biggs, that's Gary. Carry on, let's see, there's Rob Rushout Smith. Actually, he's just dashed into a phone booth and changed into that outfit, and he's now Clark Kent. There's the spitting image for Clark Kent. Could you buy insurance from this man? Right? And there's none other than Andy Bacon, or Mike Smash. It isn't Mike. What programme was Mike Smash on? Who remembers?
Could be a trivia question.
Okay, it could be a trivia. Mike Smash, there we are. Come on, keep going, Andy. There's yours truly. I'll go over to me. There's yours truly. The only thing you can think of, really, because I don't want to give myself any names which are too bad, is with that little tie and the button-up down shirt, it looked like a bus conductor, so on the buses there. Right, come on, and here's the star turn. There he is, Bob Bacon, the Blob, convict number 742369. If you've ever seen anybody looking more like a convict than that, well, I'd be pleased to see the photograph. And down in the corner, we've got Nigel Meatloaf Burdett. You put a beard onto Meatloaf, you'll get Nigel. And here's the best of the lot. It's John Bryant. And yes, just move my cap, can you get me out of the way there, and you'll see the name we've given him. Yes, and you'll see that's not Odd Job as in James Bond, that is Blowdown. If anybody wonders why, get hold of the programme, look at his eyes, and you'll see. Okay then. So you come back onto me now, Bob. Super, there we are. So we went into that a little bit prematurely. Bob was never supposed to focus onto the photographs of the staff this early in the show before I explain things to you. But anyway, that is a competition which we'll be running throughout the week. We'll be very, very pleased to have your suggestions for names or captions to go with the staff photographs which are in the middle of the Hemsby programme there. Great stuff. Now, as I was saying before Bob went over to those photographs, TVE is there as a source of information. Keeps you updated and so on what's going on around the camp. But don't forget, we also run King Radio every morning, 8 o'clock till 8:50. Bob and Andy will be playing requests, dedications, etc., etc. And the conduit, as it were, the way that you can get your requests and dedications into King Radio is the TVE mailbox. If you look on the reception counter, you'll see that there's a yellow mailbox which has got a photograph of Elvis on it. And if you pop any suggestions, any captions, any good jokes, any letters, whether they're critical or whether they're praising letters, if you drop those into the mailbox, then we'll read them, and as long as it's not too filthy, and it's just the usual TV confusion. Which camera are we on here? Which one are we on, seriously? Which is? Right, thank you, okay. If you drop your letters into the mailbox, then we'll get read out, as long as they're not too obscene. Read out some things which are a little bit on the naughty side, but we don't want anything which is too bad. Remember, we have got adults watching, So we don't want anything that's too bad. The kids can stand it, but it's the adults who complain. Radio, King Radio is 8 till 8:50 every morning, and something special on King Radio this year, we've got another edition of Desert Island Discs. A couple of years ago, we ran a Desert Island Discs show with Todd Slaughter, otherwise known as Todd's daughter, being interviewed by David Wade on the old Desert Island Disc format. He chatted to Todd about himself and what he did, fan club and so on, and he also interspersed the interview with Todd's 8 favourite Elvis records. This year, whilst the fans were over in America with the Memorial Tour, Dave Wade carried out a couple of interviews, one with Janelle McComb, who runs the Elvis Presley Foundation down in Tupelo, and knew Elvis from when he was a boy right up until his death, and also is a great friend of Lisa Marie. He's interviewed her, we've got her talking in her favourite Elvis discs, and also Joan Deary, who was Elvis's record producer at RCA. And those Desert Island discs will be broadcast, he said, hang on, he said, looking hard. They're going to go out Monday morning at 10 o'clock after the breakfast TVE show, and Wednesday morning at 10 o'clock after the breakfast show then. So tune into King Radio on those mornings after the breakfast show. Right, anyway, enough of me croaking away for a few minutes. Let's go back into another clip of the King. Now let me think. In the past, as you know, those of you who've been before, we've always had great trouble getting these clips right. Now Bob, I think, has got continuous video this time. So that one was him singing Heartbreak Hotel. This next should be him singing Milk Cow Blues. See you in a couple of minutes. Yes, the King there with a very rare version of Milk Cow Blues. And joining me in the TVE studio, or should I say joining me in front of the camera, is none other than Andy Bacon. Hello, Andy.
Hello, John. Hello, everybody. Good to see you all again. A lot of new faces this year, John.
Lots of new faces. There's an old one who keeps sticking his wing in here.
Jonathan Livingston.
Jonathan Livingston.
Well, basically, I'll just come on, John, just to mention the vast changes in the Norfolk Bar this year, or the Lowe's Theatre.
You talk to the people about the Norfolk Bar, and I'll pan in on you. You see,
when John's finished rabbiting. Basically, the Norfolk Bar in the past has been used only for films, or the Lowe's Theatre as we call it. This year we've decided to make a few changes and utilise the Lowe's Theatre more to its, and use it to its potential, its full potential. We've now got the technology, or we think we've got the technology, to beam live broadcasts down to the Norfolk Bar from TVE. So there'll be a lot more. Every TVE programme will be going out live in the Norfolk Bar, as well as onto your TV screens and your chalets. The other thing that we're trying to do down there, apart from showing films, is we're going to be running the karaoke down there this year. It's a better atmosphere down there. They've got a huge new lighting system. So basically anybody who wants to perform on the karaoke will get the full works. They've got neon lights and flashing lights and strobe lights and all sorts down there. So we can have you dancing and performing in slow motion and all sorts in a much more intimate atmosphere. So we'd like to see a lot of people down the Norfolk Bar. Tomorrow morning there is nothing happening in the Lowe's Theatre. We'd like to see everybody in the ballroom for Todd's radio show. It's going out live right across Europe, and it actually has a potential for 350 million listeners. I think Todd actually averages about 12 million at the moment, which is a big audience. It's a fantastic show. I don't know if any of you have ever heard it before. Sorry, John? Oh, no, carry on, Andy. Carry on. Oh, I'm getting it now. No, we're on it. Which one are we on? That one. No, we're not. We're on this one. We're on this one. Are we ready to go into another clip, Bob? Because I think I've about finished rabbiting about the Lowe's Theatre. Right, so we're going to... What was the last one? Shake, rattle and roll. Oh, yes, of course it was. No clap. I think it's going to be a clip. Barefoot Ballad.
And after those few words from none other than Andy Bacon, Andy's small slice of bacon, back to the TVE studios. Now, a very important thing this week, and this could possibly be the event of the week here, everybody, so do pin back your ears and listen to this very carefully. When you received your programme a check-in. Inside the programme there were various things. I think there was a slip showing you the excursions that are on this week. There was an Elvis in the 90s. Nobody's looking over this direction in the studio, so they can't see. There's an Elvis in the 90s sweatshirt, polo shirt, and baseball hat thing for those who want to buy it. But also, and Andy, can you focus on this? There was also in your programme an Elvis Memphis Prize Bingo booklet. Right? Now, each person on the camp, should I say each adult on the camp, should have one of those. Because what's going to happen is that we're going to play bingo, and the prize will be a trip for two to Memphis for the birthday celebrations in January. January, I think it's the 6th to the 11th. The way this is going to work, again, for those who've been here before, you'll know this, but the new people won't. The Bluecoats, the Pontins Bluecoats, they hold a cash bingo each evening from, as he said, glancing over at his chart, they hold it each evening from 6 to 7, I think it is. Let me just, is it 6 till 7? I think it's 6 till 7. The Blues bingo, hang on, let me just find my chart here. Is it 6 till 7? Cash bingo, 6 till 7, correct, thank goodness. And then, normally it would just finish there, but now what we're going to do from 7 till 7:15 each evening, we're going to run an Elvis bingo, and in this little booklet, Jensen, can you work this? Do you have to work this camera? Focusing in, you know the button to focus to zoom in, that's it there. Inside the booklet, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, there are 6 different coloured bingo cards, obviously for each evening from Sunday till Friday. Each bingo card will represent a game for that night. So the first one, the green